If you're driving, please remember to use your car's Bluetooth speaker while listening to the AM Drive. Sports talk is not worth your safety or the safety of others.
Grab your popcorn and sit back.
Jump the gun. Oh, no, give me more than that. Okay, go this way. That was dumb. We are.
How could I tell you when nobody wants to? Ill-fated words I will choke.
Happy Humpday to everyone in the sports universe. It is May the 18th, 2022. This is the AM Drive on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. And we are live. For Sammy Action, filling in for Aaron Crouch once again, I am Michael Carvelis. What's up, thumbs up, Sammy?
Good morning. Good morning. Another wonderful night of sports. Lots of good stuff to talk about. Very exciting games.
Oh, I completely agree. I'm on cloud 9 right now, which we'll get to very soon. But I mean, I watched some hockey. I was like, wow, I'm exhausted because I stayed up. I love it. I loved every bit of it.
Well, apparently, if you're a fan of this show, every team that you like wins. You know, you're a Heat fan. Aaron's a Tampa Bay fan. I'm a Colorado fan. At least it's a secondary team, and so it was fun for all of us last night.
We got Matt Ryan. I'm having a good time. You guys will eat your words, I promise you. Oh, hey, Sammy. When you host a podcast or run a small business, it can be hard spreading the word. Your friends want to check it out, but will they?
Well, you always want them to. You hope they will, but they don't usually, unfortunately.
They're slackers. Well, it's time to make it easier for them and yourself with Popl and grow your brand. Popl. Popl is an easy-to-use but high-tech digital business card. You can get your Popl using the code AMDRIVE for 20% off your order. Set up your links and share. And don't worry, people you share with will not even need a Popl. So it's not invasive, and it's way more simple. When you get your Popl and keychain, pops like even credit card form, enter the code AMDRIVE in all caps for 20% off your order. Go to popl.co and grow your brand. You're welcome. The Miami Heats went up 1-0 in the series with a gigantic second half, mainly a big third quarter. They dropped 39 points. And Sammy, I don't think I've ever seen a time where a team had that many steals in a row. I mean, people are like, well, Marcus Smart and Al Horford. And I'm like, and Jason Tatum was the one who threw away the ball a million times. So it's not like those two guys would have changed that. I just thought the Miami Heat locked in. They had a 5-day or 3-day rest or whatever. And they came back and locked in the second half. Great halftime adjustments by Eric Spoelstra, and Jimmy Butler took over.
Yeah, and they definitely looked like the fresher team down the stretch, second half. Boston obviously missing some players, but wonderful defensive play on both sides of the ball. I mean, there was tons of blocked shots, tons of steals, great plays in the lane. In the end, they just played a tough game 7 2 days ago. No one really thought Boston was going to come out and have, a little bit more pep in their step for a 60-minute game, 48-minute game. This is the game Miami's supposed to win, and we'll see what happens in game 2 when those guys come back. But if you're a Miami fan, you have to be happy today. You have to be happy with that second half performance.
I think everyone in the universe is happy because we're all Miami Heat fans, and that's what counts. I will say this. I thought the game couldn't have gone better for Miami. The fact that PJ Tucker came back was great. I was so happy that he was not injured, although he still was kind of limping late in the game. But really, what was impressive to me was Gabe Vincent. I always say we plug and play these guys, and Gabe Vincent, who's been he's been good, but he hasn't been that good all season long. And what he just became a sniper last night. That to me was incredible. Bam Adebayo's defense stepped up in the second half, which is also incredible. Going forward, I keep saying, and I'll give it to you now, Jason Tatum cannot keep saving this team. There was too little Jaylen Brown too late. He was making some nice threes late, but that game was over. Jason Tatum has these stretches like Tobias Harris, where he just doesn't show up, and I don't understand it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, Jason Tatum is the superstar that definitely is the engine that makes that team run. But their advantage in this series, if they're going to win this series, has to be from behind the arc. And while Marcus Smart doesn't shoot it wonderfully, he does shoot it. And while Al Horford doesn't shoot it wonderfully, he also shoots it, and he also gets rebounds for them. So missing those two pieces, as well as having some not so fresh legs, definitely hurts Boston's chances in Game 1. As the series goes on, I think that evens out a little bit more. And when those guys come back, Boston will give them a little bit better of a performance. But I mean, the basketball is in its whole. These last couple games have been nothing but blowouts. So I mean, I expected this game not to be that close. And once Miami took over in the second half, you could just see this was going to fall off for Boston the rest of the game.
And of course, I almost tweeted. I didn't tweet it out, but I was thinking to myself, we're up by 20-some points right now. One thing Miami does is we like to let a team come back just to think they have a little chance. It's really impressive. I was like, oh, here we go. Here comes the comeback. We only won by 11. I'll take it, though. A win's a win. We're one away. We're 3 wins away from winning this thing, and the first one was nice to have.
Absolutely. And if, as a betting person, I will tell you that I'm going to bet Boston in the series now that they're dog in the series. I think this is a good spot if you're going to bet Boston. So I'm still not a believer, but I'm open-minded.
You go ahead and go and throw away your money. I'm all for it. You can do that.
Okay.
I'm telling you, something about this Miami team is a little bit different, and people. I don't realize their defense is so good, their chemistry is great, but their offense can play as well. Like when Jimmy Butler's on it, he's one of those guys where you can put a hand right here in his face and hide him from the rim. He's still going to snipe it. Tyler Hero, once again, the Celtics had a game plan for that guy, and once again, Tyler Hero showed up. He really kept us afloat in the first half.
I mean, Jimmy Butler is the star. He's a superstar. And I said yesterday, he is criminally underrated because everybody knows he's got to be good for them to win, and yet he out-hustles and outperforms everybody on the defensive end trying to guard him. I mean, he's everywhere on the court. It's incredible how many loose balls he gets, how many times in the right spot, making the right play. I mean, it's hard not to root for a guy like Jimmy Butler. He does everything so well. And if he has another game like that, they're going to win again. I mean, 40 points from Butler is definitely a key factor for Miami winning the series.
Jimmy Butler, I believe it was either Mark Jackson or Stan Van Gundy. I think it was Mark. Mark Jackson was like, this guy has improved his game so much. And it's hard to guard guys who can shoot the three and lay it up. But when you have the mid-range, you fight on defense, you have the three, you have the dunks, you have everything going for you. It's almost impossible to defend. Like, what is he going to do? You don't know.
Yeah, and he's everywhere. I mean, you find him diving on the floor more than most superstars. He fights for rebounds on both ends of the floor. And like you said, I mean, he gets to the rim pretty easily, super athletic, and now he's improved his shooting stroke. He is definitely a bona fide star, and like I said, criminally underrated.
Now, for Boston in Game 2, what guy do you want to see step up that's not named Jason Tatum? I would like to see more consistency from Jason Tatum. Like I said, he's better than Tobias Harris, so don't get me wrong when I say that. But I still would like to see him not take complete quarters or even halves off. So plus Jason Tatum, who steps up in Game 2, and why do you think? I'm guessing you're saying Boston's going to win it.
I do think Boston can win that game. I think that game will be a lot closer, both not just in the final score, but in the actual competition of the game. Marcus Smart, I think, is the key for them. Getting him back out on the court, healthy, creating havoc, and then hitting the occasional three, I think, does make a big difference for how that team runs. It also gives Tatum a little bit of a rest on the defensive end. Not having to be on Jimmy Butler any of the time, being able to put Marcus Smart on him sometimes. I think just his presence on the court really changes the dynamic of that Boston team.
It's a fair point. I still think we're going to win in 6, but Sammy's got Boston in 6. I'll be fine. When we come back, we're talking Warriors and Mavericks. I think I'm leaning one way. I'm pretty sure Sammy might be leaning the other way on that one. Also, Avalanche escaped Colorado. Oh, what a game that was. We'll also pick the other 2 hockey series going on as well It's AM Drive on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. The AM Drive with Mike and Aaron might be the best morning show ever. If you love the show, shop the merchandise for $26 hoodies, $16 shirts, even $13 mugs. High quality swag for cheap because Mike and Aaron love the fans. The best morning show, the lowest price merch at amdrive.online.
This is Popple, the next generation business card. With just a tap, your Popple instantly shares your digital business card to both iPhone and Android devices. The best part? The other person doesn't need an app or a Popple to receive your info. To pop your info, tap your Popple to the top of an iPhone, the center of an Android, or just scan your in-app QR code. And just like that, all your info is saved to their phone. More connections, more leads, more sales. That's Popple. Download our free app and get your Popple today.
Aren't you the Vice Golf guy?
Yeah. You want an autograph?
Yeah. Actually, I was just wondering if the balls are any good.
The balls are amazing. You look like a Pro Plus guy.
I thought you'd never ask. It's actually better than my old ball.
And it's half the price.
Top performing golf ball, half the price. It's almost stealing.
Quit searching the globe and get your high-performing golf balls at vicegolf.com.
Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
And welcome back to the AM Drive live on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. We are presented by Fanatics. Sammy, if you want the best merchandise with the daily deals from every league, you got to go to MikeandAaronDrive.com and do what?
Click the F.
That's right. When you click the F, every team from every league with the daily deals is at your disposal. It's NBA store, MLB, NFL shop, NLL, all you want is right there. And when you go there and save and click and all that stuff and shop, we thank you so much. Let's get to our Western Conference Finals prediction. Sammy, it's the Mavericks, it's the Warriors, it's Luka Doncic, it's the pool party, the Splash Brothers plus one, whatever you want to call it. I want to first get your pick on this series. Let's flat out who wins and how many games.
I think it's Warriors in 6. I do think the Warriors at the end of this series will be the better team. I do think the Mavs will give them every bit of a scare, but it's Luka versus the world here. I mean, it's a 1v5 situation, right? I mean, Luka does not have any co-hosts on his team that will help win this series. Now, Dallas did go 3-1 against Golden State this year during the regular season, but in any of those games, they never had a full Golden State team. And so I'm thinking with Clay missing some games and Draymond Green missing some of those games, I think that that makes Golden State slightly better in the series, plus home field advantage and the playoff experience. I'm going to go with the Warriors.
Poor Sammy. Poor Sammy. It's nice as you say that Luka doesn't have any Aaron Crouch or like any co-host on his team. It's fantastic. It's funny that so many people use this. Well, who else is going to step up for the Mavericks? It can't just be Luka. A good thing it hasn't been just Luka this entire first 2 rounds. Jalen Brunson has been emerging as a possible co-star for Luka. Now, would it be nice to have another wing player that is as a good two-way player? Absolutely. But let's make no mistake. I believe one thing keeping the Warriors from winning this series, the Mavericks, when they figured out the first 2 teams rebounding, the first 2 opponents, they shut them down. They shut them down completely. Like when it was on the Jazz, it was nip and tuck, and they didn't even have Luka for part of that series. They figured out how to out-rebound Gobert when it counted. You look at the Phoenix Suns. They figured out how to out-rebound DeAndre Ayton when it counted in the last couple of games. And then I look at this Golden State team. They're shorter, if not shorter, than Dallas. They rely on Steph Curry shooting a career low on three-point percentage. They think Jordan Poole is the third coming of Christ. Well, he shot like 32% last series. And Klay Thompson, who has not been himself since his injury, I don't know if we're still using that excuse. I honestly believe, my biggest thing in this series, I want to see how many technical fouls between Luka and Draymond. That's gonna be impressive theater to watch. Those guys barking the refs, but that's gonna be fun to watch. I really believe Dallas is going to win the series in 6. I will go 7 if we're respecting the Warriors. I'm going 6. I believe Jason Kidd has his team locked down defensively. And I don't believe Steph Curry, especially in the playoffs, is going to give them as big of a problem as people think. I feel like we're putting too much on Luka because you're not the one person saying this. You're not the one person saying, well, who's going to help Luka? He's had help the entire playoffs. It's been Jalen Brunson, Luka, and then either Reggie Bullock or Maxi Kleber or Davis Bertans. They all have been helping him. It's really been impressive to me. Even Dorian Finney-Smith has been great for a good majority of the playoffs so far. Thoughts on that?
Well, the Dallas team, the role players have stepped up in previous series, but let's be fair. They were not favored to win against Phoenix. They were dog in the series. They were dog in Game 7. They won home games. They played well at home, but they did not play well on any of the road games up until Game 7. It took a massive choke job by a career choker for them to win Game 7 on the road. And so if you think Golden State's going to lay down like a dead puppy, then sure. Yeah, Dallas, their role players can hit wide open threes and nobody's going to rebound the ball, and they can play just like Phoenix did in Game 7. But outside of that, Dallas was never supposed to be here, right? They were not predicted to be here. Now, if you're predicting they're going to get past Golden State, you should make some money on that because they're a really big underdog in this series. And there are places you can make these wagers because I just don't see it. This is a full team. Golden State has been there. They know how to win. They have home field advantage. They have a much better defensive team when healthy than they've shown all year long. Dallas's role players are great. They can step up in big spots, no question about it. But this is a different animal than what they faced last series.
It's plus 180 for the Mavs, and Sammy, I'll be honest. Not only do I have the Mavs in 6, I think Mavs kill them in Game 1. I think Mavs, because they just played, and I know I just used that argument with the Heat and the Celtics. I believe the Mavericks in Game 1 in Dallas are going to punch Golden State in the mouth and put everyone on notice.
It very, very well can happen. Game 1 is usually the easiest one to steal if you're the road team.
If you're the if you're the underdog, I guess too, because they're at home. But
I mean, you have to win a road game, right? There's no way to win the series without winning a road game. So winning Game 1 is the easiest road game for Dallas to win. If you're the underdog team, and so. I could definitely see them giving them a good Game 1, but Golden State plays really well at home, and they play really good defense. It's going to be a very tough matchup for Dallas. Like I said, they beat them 3 out of 4 during the season, so they know each other well enough.
Do you think there's something to be said about the carelessness of the Golden State Warriors sometimes? Because I noticed Steve Kerr has been. I don't know what kind of coach Steve Kerr is, because I don't think he's a great one. I think he just kind of benefited from Mark Jackson's thing. But I'll be honest, Sammy, I really believe why Steve Kerr never fixed the turnover issue? How many times we're going to hear that Steph Curry doesn't take care of the ball? How many times we're going to hear that they're making careless passes? That has to bite them in the butt sometime, right?
Oh, absolutely, and you're 100% right. The turnovers are definitely a plague they have to get by. But Steve Kerr did change quite a bit about that team. Mark Jackson really set up the defensive side of the ball for Golden State when he was there. But this offense, this fluid passing offense with the open threes, that's a Steve Kerr brainchild. He revamped the whole offensive side of the ball. And so if you remember the Warriors, draining hundreds of threes and being this high-scoring, very fluid, fun team to watch, what you're looking at is Steve Kerr's mind. Mind put to poetry, right? Put to music. They're definitely his brainchild. But you're 100% right about the turnovers. They They have to do something to not turn the ball over. And especially when you're facing a big underdog like Dallas, you don't want to give them reason to have hope. And turn the ball over will definitely help give them a lot of hope in this series.
Fair enough. We have to leave that one there. And Sammy, how about this? Tomorrow, we're going to do a debate, our first debate of the Action versus Mike series. I'm excited. Are the Warriors the best team left in the NBA? Sammy wants to make a case for it. We'll have to see.
I can make a case for it. If they win tonight, it'll make my case a lot easier.
Yeah, I bet it will. Right. Well, one of us will be riding a certain high tomorrow, so we'll see.
If Dallas wins, I might have to call in sick.
Right. Colorado Avalanche, speaking of calling in sick, good Lord. This one, if you stayed up late, it was definitely worth it. When this game was 2-1 in the third period, I feel like Colorado fans were ready to erupt, but they just couldn't get past that darn post. Then that Bennington guy, who apparently has 19 career wins, which is the most in Blues history for a goaltender, was just playing out of his mind. And then Blues tie it up. Now, there's a way to steal a game one. That's the way to do it in overtime. Unfortunately, Sammy, I don't watch a lot of hockey. Watching that game last night, that was by far the best hockey team I've seen in the few years I've been watching. They were just blitzing. They were suffocating on defense, suffocating on offense. Their stick work is like really good. Like, it is insane how on defense, their ability to just poke the puck away at the perfect time is really something impressive. I think Colorado is by far the fact that people said Avalanche in 7 is comical to me. Remember when I said Avalanche in 4, maybe 5 of the puck bounces the wrong way? This one, the puck bounced the wrong way. They still won in overtime. And it looked like there was no match. What was your thoughts on game one?
I mean, Colorado is my favorite team to watch if I'm not watching our Vegas Golden Knights, and they are just so fun to watch. I always look at them as like a beehive, right? They're everywhere around the puck. No matter which way they're going, they have 2 guys. It always seems like ready to make a steal, ready to go on a breakaway, ready to dump the puck in and chase around. I mean, they're just everywhere, and I don't think words can put it to justice. You have to watch them, because if you watch a lot of hockey, it looks very clunky and disorganized. But when Colorado plays, it looks very fluid, very smooth. Like everybody knows where everybody's going to be. And everybody's in the right spot, ready to do the right thing. And well, hats off to St. Louis, hats off to Bennington. He played an amazing game. They kept themselves in it, but they are easily outclassed here. I mean, Colorado is the best team in the league, and I don't think it's even really close right now.
Oh, people are talking about, well, Tampa Bay's got championship DNA. I have never seen this from Tampa Bay, and I've watched them in bits and pieces the last few years. This is not Tampa Bay. This is something way better. Yeah. I'm sorry to Aaron Crouch. Like, seriously, I know they won the cup, and Vasilevsky's been out of his mind even last night again, which I didn't really put on the docket, but great game for them. Just shocking the Panthers last night. This team's better, though.
Colorado is better. And hats off to Tampa Bay, too. They played a great game. The score is a little misleading in that game. They didn't really blow them out like the 4-1 indicates. But they did play a very good game. They did win a good game. So, they deserve all the credit in the world for that. I
completely agree with that. Game, do you see a sweep for this Avalanche series? You think Blues steal a game just because?
No, it's hard to predict sweep. Colorado can win all 4 games in the series, and they can win them by the puck line. They didn't win by the puck line game 1, and certainly that kind of unlucky bounces of the puck can go against them in a different game. But I think 5 games, maybe 6 if they get really unlucky. They should be able to beat this team pretty easy, though.
I completely agree. And people were saying 7. Might say the first.
I mean, if you're a Blues fan or if you pick the Blues in the series, you have to be uplifted by game 1, right? I mean, they had a chance to win, and they weren't blowing out the doors like people were talking about. They were in it. They went to overtime. I mean, if I bet the Blues, I would be at least thinking we could get there again. I don't think so, but I didn't bet the Blues.
The shots on goal and the shots in general, there were so many blocks too. Like before it even got to the goalie, the Colorado Avalanche was playing the stick perfectly. But how in the world does this team do it so often?
Yeah, they had 100 chances. I mean, they took 100 shots. Not all of them made it to the net, but anytime a team puts 100 shots on goal with the attempt of scoring, even if they get blocked, they're being very pressure filled, and the pressure Colorado puts on is unmatched in this league. They are everywhere.
And I don't know what this is called, but like when they're against the boards, sometimes hockey's kind of clunky and gets boring at times. When there's so many times when they're at the board, Avalanche always have another guy just right there ready for them. Like, how is that possible? No other team does that.
There was a few moments in that game last night where the Blues could not get the puck out of their zone in 5-on-5 play without icing the puck. No matter which way they tried to move the puck out of the zone, Colorado would seal it and get right back in the zone. They just could not cross the midcourt line. It was insane. They played so well, and again, the Blues did take them to overtime. Got lucky, posts, big goal at the end of the game, but Colorado was way the better team.
Amen. Rangers and Hurricanes. Sammy, who wins the series? I like the Hurricanes, but man, Rangers beat a good Penguins team.
So I'm from New York. I went to a lot of Ranger games in my day. I was in New York when they hoisted the cup with Mark Messier and had no choice but to root for them, because if you didn't root for them at that time, you were not a New Yorker. With that being said, I bet the Hurricanes to win the cup on the east side. I bet Colorado on the west side. So obviously my heart roots for them. I think Carolina has the best fork check in the league. I think they play the best stick defense of anybody. And while I do think the Rangers have the best goalie left, Carolina is pretty impressive on the offensive end as well. This is going to be a tough series. I don't think this is the same animal as Colorado blowing out St. Louis first series. I think the series goes 7. It could really go either way, but I'm both rooting for and think that Carolina is just slightly better.
I'm going to go Carolina in 7, actually.
Agreed.
That's tough. I would like to say 6, but 7, because hockey's not fair sometimes.
Very true. And these two teams are pretty close. I mean, this is not an outclass situation. This is whoever gets special work by one player, or an extra bounce of the puck by one offensive zone. This could go either way.
Right. The Oilers, with Connor McJesus, Leon Draisaitl, and the crew, will take on the Flames, who won a pretty poor division this year, and granted had a fun time with, I believe, the Dallas Stars. I think Oilers win the series in 6.
I actually also agree with you. I have a bet with Mr. Crouch on this series. Or maybe not this series. I don't remember if this is one we bet, but I also like the Oilers in this series. I do think that while Calgary has home field advantage, home court advantage, home ice advantage,
right, that's the one.
I do think that Edmonton's playing well. They have the best player in the game. At some point, he's going to break through and become a superstar on the national stage, and this is a great place to do it.
I don't know if they can pass anybody else, but I do think the Flames are if there was a lowest point of burn temperature, the Flames were. They're not some big bonfire, a little tiny candle. It's time to.
There was a time during the regular season where Calgary was beating everybody and beating them all handily. And I don't know when that fell off for them, but they've become very sluggish down the stretch, sluggish in the playoffs. They got by Dallas, but they were a much better team than Dallas, and Dallas gave them all they could handle and then some. If they play that way against Edmonton, I think Edmonton beats them pretty handily, actually.
Oh. All right, on this edition of By Sammy, I want to get to these 3 topics on the other side. So Aaron's got golf bets for the PGA Championship. Where's Phil Mickelson, Sammy?
I'm probably in a casino.
Oh, that's good. That's a good one. XFL is going to air on ESPN and Disney networks in 2023. Are you excited, or is it just another USFL league?
I mean, I'm excited for any time you can watch football when football's not on, so I'm not hating on it, but we'll see what kind of product they put on the field. I'll give it a try like I do with all the other ones.
There you go. And Lil Wayne was sitting courtside when DeAndre and Monty Williams went at it. Do you think it was just a one-time thing, or do you think it was a contract dispute? I think it was a one-time thing, and I don't think he's gonna be back anyways.
I don't know what the shape of their relationship is, but if I'm the Suns, I'm moving on from DeAndre Ayton. I just don't think he's the answer for them. He's been a very disappointing number 1 overall pick, and while they can still get something for him, I think they can do better, and they deserve better. The Suns have a very talented team, and to watch them collapse like they did in Game 7 it was awful.
All right, tomorrow we're going to have a recap and debate of the Warriors and Mavs. That'll be so fun. Sammy, you have a great time today, and thanks again. We'll see you tomorrow.
I appreciate it. See you tomorrow. Have a great day, my friend.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. When I come back, another edition of Mike Said First, I'll give Aaron's golf bets, also XFL with a great TV deal, and Lil Wayne with the inside info. We'll be right back to AM Drive on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. The AM Drive with Mike and Aaron might be the best morning show ever. If you love the show, shop the merchandise for $26 hoodies, $16 shirts, even $13 mugs. High quality swag for cheap because Mike and Aaron love the fans. The best morning show, the lowest price merch at amdrive.online.
This is Popple, the next generation business card. With just a tap, your Popple instantly shares your digital business card to both iPhone and Android devices. The best part? The other person doesn't need an app or a Popple to receive your info. To pop your info, tap your Popple to the top of an iPhone, the center of an Android, or just scan your in-app QR code. And just like that, all your info is saved to their phone. More connections, more leads, more sales. That's Popple. Download our free app and get your Popple today.
Aren't you the Vice Golf guy?
Yeah, you want an autograph?
Yeah. Actually, I was just wondering if the balls are any good.
The balls are amazing. You look like a Pro Plus guy.
I thought you'd never ask. It's actually better than my old ball.
And it's half the price.
Top performing golf ball, half the price. It's almost stealing.
Quit searching the globe and get your high-performing golf balls at vicegolf.com.
Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
And welcome back to this Hump Day here on the AM Drive. It is May the 18th, 2022. We are live on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. The next part of this show is presented by Vice Golf. Go to MikeandAaronDrive.com and get the best balls and the name brand balls, but at the lowest price shipped right to your door. MikeandAaronDrive.com and Vice Golf is a hole-in-one. With that, let's get to Aaron's golf bets, which he has texted to me. First, his futures. He's got 4 of them from the PGA Championship. Number 1, at 11-1, it's Scotty Scheffler. At 30-1, it's Victor Hovland. And 2 very long shots, which I dig. Cam Champ at 150-1, and Davis Riley at 250-1. So you want to make some shekels? Go ahead and bet those with Aaron. Now, some props and some finishers here. Jordan Spieth to finish top 5 is yes at plus 550, and Aaron will, of course, gladly take that. Jordan Spieth top 20 in the first round, yes at plus 140. I hate this one. Tiger Woods to miss the cut, yes at plus 105. Oh, Lord. Aaron has no faith. And Victor Hovland over Cam Smith at minus 110. Wow. I'm doing the bets here. My favorite ones are Jordan Spieth top 5 at plus 550. And I kind of like the Cam Champ at 150-1. This is my personal preferences from that list. But hey, thank you and a Vice Golf clap to Aaron for that as well, for giving us that list. And that deserves a Vice Golf logo on the top screen. Now let's get into some Mike Said First topics. The XFL will air on ESPN and Disney networks in 2023. And to that, I say, in your face, USFL. You know, this guy, Minor League Rando of Talent Sports, who came on our show, even co-hosted a show or two with me, and we were previewing the USFL. I said I'd give it a chance. I was impressed with the play, but then it just got boring. Every single week we're at the same place. And oh, big surprise, the Birmingham, Alabama Stallions are undefeated. And no other team it comes close, really. And they play in Alabama, by the way. Boring! It was even more boring when these Fox Sports shows are shoving down our throats somehow that these great catches or great trick plays with a double forward pass. By the way, peep the stands. They're still empty. Well, the ratings are up because they won't stop talking about it. It'd be one thing if I actually tuned into the USFL and was like, oh, wow, this is pretty good. So don't think if I'm flipping through Fox and trying to check it for 5 minutes because it's shoved down my throat and I still hate it anyways. I'm disappointed with the USFL. How are they still not selling tickets? You know why? It's a sham. I don't think it's going to work. I really don't. I know Fox is trying. They're absolutely Skip and Shannon are breaking down plays in the stupidest way possible. Like you can tell it's not, they don't even care about it. So it's funny to watch these guys fake support the USFL. Guys, XFL is not like that. XFL was filling stands in 2020. They also were very impressive football. I cannot believe that Fox is trying to buy into this. Guys, the NFL has already working with the XFL. They know that was the true competitor. But man, that no people in the stands by week 5 is still hysterical to me. But there was more fans in week 1 in the stadium than week 5, and that's not good. That is not good. It means they didn't want to come back. That is damning to me from the USFL. They better hope they don't go to any cities because they're going to lose their teams very quickly. Stay in Birmingham. You'll be all right. Lil Wayne has inside info, according to Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless said that Lil Wayne texted him and said the Suns coach Monty Williams and their star DeAndre Ayton got into it and had to be separated. Oh. So I've talked about this a little bit. I've said to you guys, I don't believe it was a contract dispute. And I think this confirms that. DeAndre Ayton is just not playing well. He's soft. He's completely soft. And I don't understand why he's so soft. Like, you're a rebounder. Your job is to be the hustler inside, and you can't even do that. It's really, it's kind of a weird phenomenon to me. But Monty Williams also, for a coach of the year, he put DeAndre Ayton on Giannis last year. That did not work out at all. And then he couldn't even double team Luka Doncic. Monty Williams is not as great of a coach as I think people think he is. I think he's a good coach. But coach of the year, Eric Spoelstra should have won it. I think Taylor Jenkins could have won it. Ime Udoka could have won it, man. What the crap? Weren't the Celtics terrible last year? And they come up this year and they're showing out. Taylor Jenkins has the Memphis Grizzlies playing 21 games without Ja, winning like 19 of them. But yeah, Monty, let me tell you. Guys, this is not a good look for the Phoenix Suns. They better get rid of DeAndre Ayton fast. If they try to fix this, they will not win a championship. I'm guaranteeing you. I promise you. Try to roll with DeAndre Ayton, it's not going to work. He will be punked inside over and over and over again. And I'm personally all here for it. Those Suns are a bunch of scumbags. It's funny how such a lower tier team for years suddenly became these tough guys. Yeah, okay, let me tell you. Tomorrow is an NLL Thursday, and I cannot wait for this. I will be picking the game twos and give Aaron's picks as well Will the Mammoths sweep the Seals? Also, can the Bears take Game 2 in Toronto, or will the Rock send it back to Buffalo for Game 3? Game 1 recap of Warriors and Mavericks, and of course, Mike versus Sammy. I want all the action as we will debate, are the Warriors the best team left in these NBA playoffs? And also, hockey has been really good. We'll talk more hockey as well. And of course, when other stories come up, I cannot wait. Thank you so much for watching and listening again. We had a great show. Let's go, Miami Heat. And for Sammy Action, Aaron Crouch, I am Michael Carmelis saying have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Drive safe, won't you?